Hello, hello, hello. So, I don't think you guys realize how much I enjoy podcasting. It's such a low, I don't know how to describe it. It's low maintenance, right? I don't have to get dressed. I could do it any other time. But every other medium still has, you know, some sort of limitation. Of course, podcasting has its limitation, which is why I have decided to diversify my efforts more because of discoverability when it comes to podcasting. So, but I love it. I really, really do because at the time of this recording, it is exactly midnight. Well, not exactly midnight. It's 12:22 a.m. And I can't do this with going live. I could probably record YouTube, but then I have to get dressed, and I'm not really in the mood for all of that. But it allows me to still connect with my audience. It still allows me to connect with you and just really give value and just show up without minimal excuses. So if you're listening to this episode, I really appreciate that you're here, that you tune into this podcast. And if you haven't before in the past, given this podcast a shout out. If you haven't subscribed yet, if you haven't left a review, or you haven't reshared this podcast yet on Instagram, I'd greatly appreciate that you do, because it really does, take time and effort to do these things. And it really does help the podcast grow and reach other people. And, sharing is caring. If you got value from it, definitely spread the word so others can get value from it as well. So in today's podcast episode, I am basically sharing an Instagram live, which is also living on Instagram by Instagram TV, which I absolutely love. That update that you can just share your live stream at the click of a button to IGTV. And that also means, because I wanted to test this also means that your IGTV is no longer limited to 10 minutes, because before we could have only uploaded a video that's 10 minutes long. So you go live on Instagram, and if you go over the 10-minute limit, you don't have to worry that you can't publish this video, because in the past you could have saved your live, but would you have been able to upload it? Not without splitting up your live download. After you go live, you save it. Before you save it, you download. This was the old process. And then you would have had to do all these extra steps. So kudos to Instagram for, really paying attention to what people on their platform want. The only thing that they're missing in terms of updates is this link in bio really does need to retire. We need to be able to put links in our posts. In 2020, we shouldn't have to do this. I know I have vented, rambled, and shared my opinion on this on this podcast before, but until this changes, I'm going to continue to talk about it. So, and that is that. So without further delay, I'm going to just basically introduce today's episode, which I'm talking about what COVID has taught us. Now, I'm sure I could have gone a lot deeper into it. Not that the episode isn't deep, but there's so much that I can talk about when it comes to the hidden blessings of COVID-19, as much as it is a very serious issue. And, people, have fallen ill. Some people have lost loved ones. And I do definitely recognize that. But there is a silver lining that we have to recognize. So let's just get straight into this week's episode. Welcome to Tea Time, the podcast. I am Cassie Marina, fondly known as the Branding Queen, and I am a digital branding expert helping businesses get online and thrive doing so. I am passionate about sharing my knowledge through content creation like this podcast, online classes, and workshops, as well as through the services of my branding agency to help you develop your online systems. Think of this podcast as the place to get the latest advice, strategies, tips, news, and inspiration on building your brand online using the tools available to us, but most importantly, thought-provoking content to improve your mindset, to maximize on these tools and put context to day-to-day developments in the online world of business with a little bit of tea dishing facts and sass, because I really want you to thrive online. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let's begin. Hey guys, so if you are watching the replay via Instagram TV, welcome. And in today's video, I am going to be talking about what COVID has taught us, how so much has changed in the last few months. Hey, so tell me if you can hear me before I continue, but I'm just going to have to keep continuing. Let me know if you can hear. And if you're watching the replay, just skip ahead and avoid all of this like pre-Instagram live streaming stuff. But I just want to make sure that you all can hear me. Okay, great, awesome. So I wanted to hop on to really connect with you all and kind of like give an update on what's been happening with me and what that means for you all as well. And I figured, like, where do I start? So I want to start from the top, right? The top not being January, but at least March, when COVID entered our lives and basically threw everybody for a tailspin, right? You can definitely relate to that. And what I have seen is a huge interest and increase in paying attention to having like your online presence, online systems, a remote way to do business with people. You may not have like changed your business directly, but now you're really seeing the value of streamlining your systems online and just really moving into the future. Because before COVID, these are the things I used to talk about regardless, but it's even more pertinent now, it's even more relevant now, and you really have to just get your house in order, your virtual house in order, because let's say there is a second wave, like you have to be ready. So even though things are being relaxed a bit and we're slowly kind of getting back to the usual way of doing things, for a lot of people we still can't really congregate, we can't meet, we can't do the in-person workshops. You know, there's so much that has to pivot in your in-person physical business, and you kind of just have to roll with it. And we can't no longer make excuses and say, well, I'm not tech savvy, or I don't like to go live, and I don't like to do this, and I don't like to do that. Like, we have to suck it up, because you have to be able to grow and adapt, and that's what entrepreneurship is all about. So that is, in a nutshell, what I think COVID has taught us, is that we can no longer sit in complacency and figure, well, I don't need to adapt, because there's no need. COVID has definitely shaken us up. You know, banking has changed. A lot of things has become a lot more remote. Side note, I went yesterday to the bank to get my updated Visa debit card from FCB, and I was disappointed to not get the card, but I was like trying to rationalize in my mind, like, why are they not just mailing this out via the mail, and we can activate the card over the phone. Lo and behold, it turns out that they're only giving the cards out to people whose cards have that are damaged. But I don't know, every branch is different, so I don't know if that's how they're doing things at that branch. But for the most part, I was disappointed, but at the same time pleasantly surprised. And that's because of COVID. They realized they can't deal with an influx of people in the branch trying to get their new cards, they are going to mail it out, which I have to say thumbs up on that. You can send out the cards, because when I got my Bank of America debit card, it was the same process. They mailed the card home to me. I activated it on the website. So I was really glad to see like processes are adapting because of COVID, and it's like it's a bit of a blessing in disguise. I must say I have appreciated how people are adapting, and I'm not getting as much like weird looks of having to deal with technology. Like I easily just tell people, okay, here's the link to book. People are booking, we're meeting, and this is the new norm, and I love it. So I'm not gonna get too much into payments into this live, but quickly to answer, you have to go in person to actually sign up for that. It's not something you can do remotely, and considering the state of the world right now, that's not really an option. But I have encouraged via my blog post, you can check out and read more about that process. It's on my website, how to get paid with PayPal in Trinidad and Tobago, and I do explore everything under the sun when it comes to payment. So you can go check out that blog post. It's casiamarina.me/blog posts, and once you go to that page, you should find that blog post, and it has all the details. So I encourage you that when you are able to travel again and you are on a trip, definitely go get those options as well, right? So anyway, things are changing, things are adapting, we're learning to do things remotely and work more efficiently. So that's one of the things that COVID has definitely taught us. And I, at the beginning of the year, had like a whole schedule straight up until June, starting with my basic to branded course, and then I did the graphic design course, and I had like a clear plan and schedule of what I was coming out with. But then COVID happened and I had to pivot, and I'm sure you guys had to pivot too. So I was supposed to be relaunching my signature course, which is how to build a website, which is what was I renaming it to? It was Websites That Sell. And I took notice that, okay, I wanted to bring a more affordable option to building your website. And I finally was forced, again, a blessing in disguise with COVID, to release website templates. It's an idea I had at least a year or so ago, and I just couldn't like figure out how I wanted to make this as easy as possible. But then after doing research, I realized, this is how I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna explain what are the website templates and how it is a more affordable way to experience a course-like experience. So when you purchase this template, you get the template and a whole ton of other resources that help you customize this template. And in the process, you are essentially getting familiar with the platform, learning how to build out a website, but at a much more affordable rate. And that is something else I was really happy and proud about and really excited. And what I have embarked on is to release a template a month. So far I have one template in the shop available, and I'm gearing up to release the second template. And this time around, I wanted to explain and go into more detail of how these templates work, and why you need a template and how it's going to make your life easier, right? So first off, what is a template? So this template, what? Yes, this is life at home, working at home with kids. And this is why I can't stay on these things very long. But anyway, continuing, right? So a template is essentially a design template specifically. So in all of my years, all of my time helping people build websites, whether it's me doing it for them one-on-one or teaching them via my course how to build a template, I realized people are really stuck with making their websites look really professional because they don't have that design savvy or that design common sense. So no matter how much they actually learn the technicalities, they get stuck on like how to lay it out and how to design it. And the thing with a template, it just really gives you a specific blueprint, and you literally just have to swap out your photos, swap out the photos that are there, and put in your imagery, put in your messaging, your branding, swap out the colors. And if you literally just put in your information, your pictures, your colors, and your logo, it's going to look completely different, but it's going to look great. Hey guys, this is a quick break in the show. I just wanted to give a special recognition to someone who reshared this, well, not this episode, but this podcast over on Instagram and tagged me. It's Plan with Tiffanita. And in her reshare, this was her feedback. She can totally relate to the part about you being in school again. I can't leave my son unsupervised. Getting him to stay focused in online classes for hours is a task and a half. And this is in response to episode number 31, what it's really like working from home with kids. So if you haven't checked out that episode yet and you're a mom working from home, then you will definitely find that episode very soothing, very relatable. And if you'd like me to shout you out on this podcast, you know what to do. Just leave a review or share this podcast and tag me so that I know that you did it, and you might very well hear your review on the next episode. How is this different to like a base template? So with base templates, which are the free templates, it kind of looks kind of basic. So now with my design brain and my experience as a brand designer and somebody who has been designing for 10 years now, I can see the vision. I can see from a template how I can navigate it and build upon that framework, because the basic templates are really just variations of different structures. And I see, when I look at a template, I don't just see the design, I see the structure of how the template is built upon, and I can deconstruct that and build designs specific to certain industries. You don't get a lot of industry templates on the Squarespace platform, but you get a structure that you can see. Now they have really nice, very clean, crisp, modern templates that give you a great starting point. But if you aren't a very visual person and you aren't very great with design, then it becomes a challenge to kind of like get from point A to point B. And what the template does, it bridges the gap and takes you from A to B a lot closer, and it closes that gap. And my templates make it much easier for you to just launch your website. Like, that's ultimately the goal. I find too often that we get stuck on the website and we overthink it and we just remain not having a website. And it's like, are you just gonna get the website launched and have it start working for you? Are you just gonna just stay there overcomplicating the process, overthinking the process, overanalyzing, and ultimately just procrastinating, right? Sometimes people purchase things and they still don't launch. You know, sometimes they even hire me and pay all this money and still don't launch because they're overthinking the process. And I want to tell you what, please let that go. This doesn't just happen to DIYers, it happens to everybody. There's some reason when it comes to websites, we're waiting for it to be ultimately perfect. And I have a news flash. A website is never done. It's like a home. It's like you purchase a house, you put everything in, but you just don't want to move in because you just don't feel like it's ready yet. It's never going to be ready. You just have to move in and start living in it. And as you live in it, you're going to improve it. You're going to change paint colors. You're going to move around furniture. You're always buying interior design items to make the home even more homey. My website is always evolving from day one. From day one when I launched my current site on the Squarespace platform, and I remember launching that in January or February of 2016. And since then, it's always tweaking because it's a living, breathing thing. As you change your processes, as you realize who your ideal clients are, as you get more in tune with who your ideal clients are, and you discover more and more different ideal client avatars, you're going to realize, okay, I need to have specific messaging for this page, because on this page, I'm talking about this product. And you're always going to be tweaking. And a reason why I love the Squarespace platform, because literally, as I have a conversation, let's say a coach or my business bestie or even an ideal client or an unideal client, this is somebody who you don't want to work with, you realize, I need to put up a roadblock. Now, I'm not going to get too down the rabbit hole of funnels and all of that, but when people land on your website, you want them to feel like, this is the person for me, or you want them to feel like, I'm not in the right place. And it doesn't make them bad, it just means they're not a good fit. So if you realize that this person does not align with my values as a business owner, you're going to speak in a certain way on the website so that they know that this is the place for me or it's not the place for me. So you might have a conversation or an experience and realize, okay, I need to put this messaging on the website so that repels people I don't want to work with, or it attracts people I want to work with. And every day you're learning in business. So as you have a conversation, you can literally be like, I need to edit this. And it's as easy as updating and writing a post for Instagram or a post for Facebook or LinkedIn. I do this all the time. I go in on a specific page and be like, I need to change this because I need to let these people know that that's not how we roll here. This is the systems. I can update my frequently asked questions really quickly. And this is why this is a chosen platform for website templates, because it's very easy, especially for small business owners, to maintain their websites themselves. People are always shocked and thrown back because when they inquire for my pricing, I don't focus on maintenance, because my goal is at the end of a project, you are fully self-sufficient to manage your website yourself. The only time you call me is because you want to call me, not because you need to call me. Like, you are good. And that is what I've packaged up in templates, so that even if you can't afford to hire me or hire someone to build your website, you can literally purchase this template, plug in your information, click publish, and you have a website. Once you put in 30 minutes at least every single day, you can launch your website in like 2 weeks. If you do more, you can launch it in literally a week. It all depends on you, and you get what you put in. So that is what a template is, why you need a template, and how it's more than a template. So for right now, I am building out still like all of the lessons. So during this period, while many things are still developing with the template, I have been giving away one-on-one sessions. So you get to learn from me one-on-one directly. So it's literally like you get this physical template, you're getting a course, right? And this information is like updated forever. And you also get my Squarespace masterclass, which teaches you, and you can go back over it, and you get to book a one-on-one session with me. Over time, I'm gonna like downgrade it to like group format, and then that will go away, and you'll literally just have the individual lessons to go through. That's gonna walk you through step by step customizing this template. But for right now, that's the great thing of signing up and purchasing a template today, or even purchasing a gift card. If you purchase a gift card today towards a template in the future, or you just want to gift a fellow business owner a website, you can even purchase a gift card as well. And as long as you purchase during this period, you get to meet with me one-on-one to literally hold your hand and help you customize that template and make it completely your own. Right, so I'm gonna check through these comments. You're speaking to me right now, girl preaching. Very interesting, very true. And like a house, sometimes you look around and realize it's cluttered, it's time for an update. Exactly. So your website is your business hub where you streamline all of your systems online so that you don't need as much administrative support. You can automate things, and it's also your virtual home on the internet. So especially during these times where physical spaces aren't really a thing, how do you legitimize your business? With an Instagram page? With a Facebook page? No, you have to put in that same amount of time and effort and value into your online space as well, because this is your home. This is where people are going to visit you from now on. Even when things go back to normal, people are going to be now embracing, sorry, excuse the noise in the background. There's always something happening around here. So people are going to now see the convenience, and now that they have had to jump in and wet their feet literally on all things online, that fear, that need to want to meet up physically is going to like subside. Not that people aren't going to want to meet up physically, but it's also very convenient to be like, hey, can I do this on the website? You're going to need to have a website. You're going to need to have a place where people can visit you virtually and possibly meet with you virtually as well. But it's always good, it's actually best to have everything under one home or house rather than having to send them all these multiple links via email. You can create systems via a website where people can just come and do business with you. It's literally like visiting you virtually. It's the same thing. Just how you visit a storefront physically, I'm visiting your storefront virtually via a website, and I supposed to be able to get all the resources that I need without even having to email you, and I could just do business with you. And this makes your life a whole lot easier. Alright, so I think I basically covered all of the things I wanted to cover on how a template can benefit you. But if you do have any questions, definitely leave a comment below. If you're now joining this live stream, you can watch the replay. I'm going to post this up on the feed. So I will pop one in with you guys again soon, but definitely leave comments in the comment section. And I will link all resources up here that is relevant.